I always believed my home was the safest place in the world, my little bubble of warmth, noise, family dinners, and burnt garlic bread. I never imagined one tiny object could shatter that feeling in seconds. But that's exactly what happened the morning I pulled back the kitchen curtains and found a small black device tucked into the fabric like it belonged there. I didn't understand what it was at first. Then the truth hit me so hard my knees actually weakened. A camera. Someone had been filming us, and the only person who had been acting strangely enough to pull something like that was my sister-in-law. Amanda, looking back now, I should have seen the warning signs long before that moment. Amanda, the queen of excuses, had suddenly become our most loyal family dinner guest. This was a woman who once skipped Thanksgiving because her favorite influencer was doing a live stream. She always had a reason her yoga ran late. She had a migraine. She was emotionally drained. Her show was on. Mercury was in retrograde, anything to avoid coming over, but 3 months ago she transformed overnight. Suddenly she showed up early, stayed late, and planted herself in my kitchen like she owned the place. She'd hover near me, phone always in her hand, pretend whispering about urgent work calls, while positioning herself at the perfect angle to see everything I was doing. "Emily, mind if I grab some water?" She'd ask, already halfway to the sink, her phone camera perfectly aimed at my stove. I would smile politely while trying not to ruin dinner, checking the sauce, stirring the pot, hoping the lasagna didn't burn. Cooking never came easily to me, but I always tried my best. Mike appreciated every attempt, no matter how wonky it turned out. He'd eat every bite, squeeze my hand under the table, and say, "Thanks for dinner, honey." And I knew he meant it, but Amanda, she just poked at her plate like it might bite her. Half the time she barely ate a forkful. She'd smirk, her eyes flicking to her phone, fingers tapping like she was texting, but now I know she wasn't texting. She was documenting, mocking, gathering material. It all blew open the morning Lisa. My neighbor handed me her phone during coffee. "My daughter follows your sister-in-law," Lisa said gently. "I think you should see this." My stomach dropped as the video started playing. There I was, in my own kitchen, struggling with a jar that wouldn't open. Amanda had captioned it, "My SIL thinks she's a chef." Wait for it. The moment the jar slipped from my hands and sauce exploded across my cabinets, Amanda's manicured hand entered the frame holding up a scorecard. 2 out of 10. My chest burned. My face went cold. And that was only the beginning. I scrolled through her profile, each video worse than the last. She had been recording my cooking disasters for months, my burnt bread, my clumpy noodles, my too salty soup. All of it turned into entertainment for hundreds of thousands of strangers. Then came the video that broke me entirely. The newest one. The one starring my little girl. It showed 6-year-old Sophie and me making cookies together. Sophie was proudly measuring flour, smiling the whole time. When a bit of eggshell fell into the bowl, Amanda's caption flashed. "Like mother, like daughter. Another generation of kitchen disasters." She dragged my child into it. My sweet, sensitive daughter who adored baking with me. That was when the shaking started, the kind that comes from anger so sharp it feels like electricity under your skin. I tore through my kitchen like a detective. Behind the magnet on the fridge, camera. Inside the spice rack, another. Behind the curtain, the worst one, the wide-angle lens that captured not only my mistakes, but everything Amanda did when I wasn't watching, when I downloaded the footage. I saw it all, Amanda sneaking in with the spare key we'd given her for emergencies. Amanda switching my salt and sugar. Amanda changing oven temperatures, adding extra ingredients to sabotage my meals, whispering to her phone. Time to make some content. Dozens of clips, 3 months of betrayal, every failure I thought was my fault. Wasn't my fault at all. Something inside me hardened. The humiliation turned into clarity, into determination. Amanda had mocked me, violated my home, used my daughter, and laughed while doing it. And then perfect timing, my phone buzzed. "Amanda, coming to dinner tonight. Can't wait to see what you're making." I stared at the message, then at the pile of cameras on my table. A cold Calm smile spread across my face. Oh, I'm making something special, I typed back. You won't want to miss this one. I spent the afternoon preparing, not food. But the truth, I backed up every video, every screenshot, every bit of proof. Then I called my mother-in-law. Linda, could you come early tonight? There's something you need to see. Linda arrived dressed in her usual neat, classy way. She took one look at me and knew something was wrong. What's happened, dear? I didn't say a word. I just played the footage on the TV. Linda watched her daughter sabotage my home, mock her granddaughter, and parade my pain online. Her expression changed from shock to anger to disappointed heartbreak when Sophie appeared in the video. Linda's composure cracked. She stopped, swallowed hard, steadied herself. I raised her better than this. She turned to me. What do you need me to do? Right then, Mike walked in. Tired from work, expecting dinner. Instead, he found truth playing across our TV screen. When the footage ended, he pulled me into a tight, protective hug. I'm so sorry. I had no idea she was doing this. What is wrong with her? She's coming to dinner, I said. And it's time she gets served something she didn't plan. At 6:30 on the dot, Amanda pushed open the door without knocking like always. Dressed up. Phone out. Ready to film, she froze mid-step, sniffed the air, and forced a smile. Something smells. She paused, choosing her words carefully. Interesting. What are we having tonight? Actually, I said, I thought we could watch a movie before dinner. Amanda's perfectly plucked eyebrows rose. A movie? But what about please sit down? Linda cut in, her voice leaving no room for argument. This is one you'll want to see. Amanda's face changed as the footage began playing on our TV. First confusion, then shock, then pure panic as she watched herself sabotaging my kitchen. Heard her own voice mocking my daughter. Saw the evidence of Herman's long campaign of humiliation. Two can explain, she stammered, looking willy around the room. It was just a joke, just for fun. Everyone loves the videos. Fun. Mike's voice was quiet but sharp. You call humiliating my wife and daughter fun? The videos have 500,000 followers, Amanda protested. Do you know how much money I'm making from brand deals? Emily should be thanking. I made her famous. I finally spoke, my voice trembling with anger. You made me look like an incompetent mother. You mocked my child. You violated our home and our trust. And for what? For likes. For followers. I want all the videos deleted. Linda declared, every single one. Now Amanda clutched at her phone to her chest. You can't mac me. This is my career. My content, your content. I pulled out a USB drive. Umumi and the content. You filmed illegally with hidden cameras in someone else's home. Recording a minor without parental consent. The color drained from Amanda's face. I wonder what your followers would think about that. I continued. Or your sponsors. Or maybe the police. Y'all wouldn't, she whispered. Try me. Amanda's fingers shook as she pulled up her social media accounts. One by one, she deleted the videos, her eyes filling with tears as her view counts and follower numbers began to drop. My engagement rate, she whimpered. And fake cameras, Mike added. All of them. Now, she retrieved 2 more hidden cameras I hadn't even found. One in a fake houseplant, another disguised as a wall clock. Each one had cost hundreds of dollars. But I took particular pleasure in dropping them into a bowl of water, watching them fizz and spark. I think it's time for you to leave, Linda said to her daughter. We'll discuss this more tomorrow. At length, Amanda stood, mascara running down her cheeks. Emily, please. My followers, my sponsors. I lose everything? I thought about all dinners I cooked with love despite my struggles. About Sophie's proud face when we baked together. About the trust that should exist between family members. You already lost everything that matters. I replied, you lost it the moment you decided views were more important than your family's feelings. After she left, Linda hugged me tight. I'm so sorry, she said. I'll make this right. I promise. Mike ordered a pizza for dinner and we sat around the table. No phones, no cameras. Just family enjoying each other's company. Sophie asked if we could bake cookies for dessert, and my heart swelled when she said, "Nobody makes better cookies than my mom." Later that night, I checked social media one last time. Amanda had posted a tearful apology video, claiming she was taking a break to reflect on my choices. The comments were brutal, exposed, karma coming through. Imagine betraying your own family for views. I closed the app and deleted it from my phone. Tomorrow I go shopping for new spices, reorganize my kitchen, and maybe sign up for those cooking classes I've been thinking about. Not because I needed to prove anything to anyone, but because I enjoyed cooking for the people I loved. And this time, the only person filming in my kitchen would be me teaching Sophie how to make her favorite chocolate chip cookies. 3-month shave passed since the night we exposed Amanda's videos. The changes in our family dynamics have been both subtle and profound. Linda comes over morphed in now, not to supervise or criticize, but to genuinely help. She enrolled us both in a cooking class at local community center, and our Tuesday nights have become a special bonding time. "You're a natural with pastries," she told me last week as one mastered French macarons. I never had the patience for them myself. The irony isn't lost on me. I'm actually becoming a better cook now that no one's secretly abating my efforts. But more importantly, I'm enjoying it again. The kitchen feels like a safe space one summer, filled with laughter and learning instead of anxiety and hidden cameras. Amanda's social media braked her temperament after several of her former followers discovered her other videos mocking different family members at various gatherings. Her carefully curated influencer career imploded within weeks. The last I heard, she had to move back in with Linda and take a regular 9-to-5 job. I wasn't prepared for her arrival at our door one Sunday morning, clutching a worn envelope and looking nothing like the published social media star she'd once been. "Can we talk?" she asked, her voice small. Gone were the designated clothes and perfect makeup replaced by a simple sweater and jeans. She looked more like the sister-in-law I first met years ago before followers and sponsorships became her whole identity. Mike was out with Sophie at her soccer practice, so I hesitated before stepping aside to let her in. The kitchen scene of her betrayal seemed like the last place we should talk, but that's where Ush headed. "I found these while moving out of my apartment," she said, pulling photos from the envelope. They were from years ago before her social media obsession. Pictures of us baking Christmas cookies together, laughing at family barbecues, celebrating birthdays. We were friends once, weren't we? I agreed quietly. Before Lex became more important than loyalty. I've been seeing a therapist. She's helping me understand why I became so obsessed with the followers. The validation, the need to make content out of everything and everyone. I stayed silent, letting her continue. "I was jealous," she admitted, staring at her hands. "Not of your cooking. God, that sounds so stupid now, but of your life, your happiness. Mike adores you. Sophie is perfect. Even Mom, she's closer to you now than she ever was with me. So you decided to humiliate me online. You wanted to feel superior. Each video that went viral, each mean comment. It felt like I was winning something, but I was losing everything that actually mattered." She wiped her eyes. "I miss Sophie. I miss family dinners. I miss this. I thought about the hurt she caused, the trust she'd broken. But I also thought about what Linda had told me during one of our cooking classes. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about choosing to give someone that chance to do better. I can't promise things will ever be the same," I said carefully. "But if you're serious about making amends, you can start by joining her cooking class." "No phones allowed." Her eyes lit up with cautious hope. "Really?" "Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. But Amanda," I met her gaze firmly. "One chance, that's all you get." She nodded solemnly. "I understand. And Emily, I really am sorry for everything." The following Tuesday, Amanda shook up topless in an old apron of Linda's Fromnauer in sight. We made classic beef bourguignon, and yes, she struggled just as much as I once had. But this time, there were no hidden cameras, no mocking comments, just 3 women learning and lawing together. Last night, we hosted our first full family dinner since the incident. Amanda brought a homemade pie, slightly burnt on the edges but made with genuine effort. Sophie, after initial hesitation, showed her aunt the proper way to measure ingredients for cookies. The joy on both their faces was worth more than 1,000,000 views. My phone still sits in a drawer during family meals. Not because I'm afraid of being recorded, but because I've learned something valuable through all of this. Real life, messy, imperfect, genuine life is worth so much more than any carefully curated content. As I write this, Sophie and Amanda arraign the kitchen attempting to make cinnamon rolls from scratch. There is flour everywhere, and they've already messed up the filling once, but their laughter is real. Their mistakes are their own, and the only documentation is memory we're creating together. Sometimes the sweetest. Revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting better. Better at cooking, better at forgiving, better at being family. And that's something no amount of likes or followers could ever